Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 9.1 goes live this week, and with so much new content coming our way, it's easy to get overwhelmed, so let's break it down piece by piece and talk about what you should get done first in this brand new patch. Let's start by talking about what won't be opening up this week, just so we can set some expectations clearly right from the get-go. Season 2 of Shadowlands starts on July 6th, so on patch day, which is June 29th, we won't have anything related to that new season. The new Sanctum of Domination raid, the new Mythic Plus affix and Mythic Plus season, including its higher item level rewards, the new PvP season, as well as the Tazavesh Mega Dungeon all open up with Season 2 on July 6th, so none of that will be available on patch day. That doesn't mean we don't have anything to do though. The first thing you're going to want to do is unlock Corthia. When you first log in, you should get a quest from Bolvar called The First Move. He wants you to return to Oribos so we can plan our defense against the Jailer and his forces. As it turns out, the Jailer has already taken his next step into Ardenweald. He's already managed to steal the Kyrian sigil from the Archon, and his next target is the Night Phase sigil and the Winter Queen. So we rally all available forces and head to defend Ardenweald. I'll let you play through it yourself to see how it ends, but that's the first major chapter of the Corthia storyline, and you should be able to complete it right when the servers come up on patch day. After that, you'll be asked to discover a way to more permanently link the Maw to Oribos to allow anyone to move back and forth just as we Mawwalkers do. This will lead you to Venari and a cool covert operation for entering Corthia for the first time, have a chat with the locals, set up another waystone, and boom, that's the Corthia zone unlocked. With Corthia unlocked, you'll also gain the ability to use any mount in the Maw, which is a really nice quality of life change. You can now also start your adventures in Corthia. That means you can pick up the daily quests, the weekly quest, and go to work. You will also be able to find rares and treasures scattered around the zone, and when you've collected some relic fragments, you should get a quest that unlocks the Archivist's Codex reputation. You can progress with the Death's Advance and the Archivist's Codex rep for the first week to get a head start towards the various upgrades and rewards on offer. There's a lot to do in Corthia in general, so you'll have access to a good chunk of content available in 9.1 at this point. To finish off this second chapter, you need to finish the daily quests to complete the initial weekly quest called In Need of Assistance. When you hand that in, you get a bunch of rewards, and you should finish chapter 2, which is called Mawwalkers. After that's done, you can just chill out in Corthia and hunt down rares and treasures if that's what you want to do, and then come back every day to complete the new daily quests that pop up. One thing that we aren't too sure about is whether or not we'll have access to Chapter 3 in this very first week. If you can pick up the quest A Show of Gratitude after completing Mawwalkers in Chapter 2, that means you can actually start Chapter 3 Focusing the Eye. This will take you through another story plot point which ends in the removal of the Eye of the Jailer mechanic from the Maw Zone entirely, and it also opens up the Covenant Assaults that you can do twice per week in the Maw Zone. Each of those Covenant Assaults will give you a good chunk of rep, some shiny rewards, and 50 Soul Cinders, which is the new currency needed to upgrade your legendaries in patch 9.1, so it's going to be incredibly useful. Then you also have the Tormentors of Torghast event in the Maw. You'll want to get this done at least once per week as well for the extra 50 Soul Cinders, as well as the rep bonus. If you're someone who loves to play a lot of alts, you should also know at this point in the campaign, when you've completed the first 3 chapters, the Battle of Ardenweald, the Mawwalkers, and Focusing the Eye, when those are completed, you'll unlock a campaign skip for 9.1. If you answer Bolvar's call on an alt who hasn't started the 9.1 storyline yet, you will be allowed to skip straight to Corthia and skip over those 3 chapters entirely. This is going to be amazing for anyone who loves to play multiple characters but doesn't necessarily want to grind through the story over and over again. So I would recommend you get these 3 chapters done on one character before starting the quest lines on other characters, at least if you want to make use of that skip. It's worth noting that while the first 3 chapters don't seem to be gated in any meaningful way, after that the chapters are tied to renown. So to start chapter 4 of Corthia, which is called The Last Sigil, you will need to reach renown level 44. Future chapters will also be locked behind the renown grind, so keep up with renown in patch 9.1 if you're interested in continuing and completing the new storylines. And then you can also hop on over to Torghast to check out some of the new changes there. We should have access to Layer 9 in this first week, but Layer 10 unlocks next week with the rest of Season 2 of Shadowlands. But that means we should be able to run Layer 9 to earn a bit of the new Soul Cinders currency that you need to upgrade your legendary gear up to rank 5 and rank 6. We should also be able to start earning Tower Knowledge in Torghast, a new currency that lets you unlock powerful bonuses in the Box of Many Things. Now you are going to need to unlock this Box of Many Things first. To do that, you can pick up a quest in Corthia called In Darkness Found that appears after you complete Chapter 3, and you'll need to head into Torghast and you'll find a broker who's just going to be chilling on one of the floors, so you need to find him and help him before the box becomes available to you. More than anything though for Torghast, I would just try to get used to the changes. The score system, the empowered buff, the Box of Many Things talent tree, scope it all out, play about with it, and see what you think. At this point, we're going to have to wait until next week for the rest of the new content, like the Sanctum of Domination raid and the Tazavesh mega dungeon. So something you can do in the meantime is check out some of the new gear options you have access to if you plan on running some of that group content. All of the raid loot is available to browse in the dungeon journal, so have a look at some of the trinkets you might want, where your domination socket gear comes from, and which bosses you might want to focus on. The same thing goes for the Tazavesh dungeon gear. It might only be available at item level 226 and 233, but some of those items could end up being quite powerful, especially the trinkets. There's no harm in scoping out your future gearing options, and we don't have much else to do until next week rolls around. This is also a fantastic time to take a look at some raid guides if you want to be prepared going into the Sanctum of Domination. I know there are plenty of written guides, you can check out the dungeon journal for the boss abilities and overviews, but if a video guide suits you better, we have quite a few of the bosses covered already. There should be a link in the top corner to the playlist, but I'll give you a link in the comment section below as well so you can't miss it. Every boss will be covered by the time the raid is released, so I hope those guides are useful. We will also have a Tazavesh dungeon guide releasing in the same kind of format, so if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. It's worth noting that even though you'll be able to collect some of the useful currencies you will want in Season 2 in this first week, like Valor Points and Conquest Points, those currencies will be reset with the start of Season 2 on July 6th. So if you wanted to use those currencies to buy items or gear or upgrade stuff, this week is actually going to be your last chance to do so before those currencies get reset. And then of course patch 9.1 also introduces a lot of class changes, so this is the perfect time to play around with your classes to see what's changed, how it affects each of your specs, and maybe look into swapping covenants if you're one of the classes that has seen significant changes to which covenant might be a best option. It's worth noting that patch 9.1 significantly increases the chances of you getting an extra renown from relevant activities if you are still below 40, so catching back up to renown 40 should be faster than ever in patch 9.1. If that's something that's been holding you back from making a Covenant swap, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Getting back to Renown 40 will be super quick and easy, and you can do that within the next week. The Covenant upgrades and stuff is a completely different story though. But that's everything that I will be doing in the first week of patch 9.1 and what I would recommend you get done as well. What are you going to focus on first? What are you most excited for next week when Season 2 starts? The raid, the new Mythic Plus season, or maybe the new PvP season? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to everyone who subscribed on Twitch. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.